guys, so I am back here and I am going to gut this Canon R5 like a fish and try to fix it. So let me give you a little bit of a background. I am in such a jam right now. So I have back-to-back shoots happening, and basically what's happened is in the middle of in between shoots for a podcast, the camera decided to completely shut off. And what that means is like no number, nothing showing in the LCD or LEDs, nothing, no power at all. I have tried everything. I have tried resetting or you know, they tell you to leave it on and whatever for 24 to 48 hours to juice it so it can completely reset. I've tried that. Tried other batteries. I've tried other scenarios. Maybe the lens. I've seen some people actually complain that sometimes, depending on what you do or when you take off the lens in the middle of a shoot while the camera's on, it could screw things up as well. So what I decided to do was do a little bit of research on my own, and I have come to find that this little thing, it's called a PCB board. So it's like basically a piece that comes off of the main board, I believe. And what it does is it controls the contacts and the power source. And I believe that's really what my issue is. Everything was working perfectly. The camera was awesome. I had no issues with it, but I believe I know what's going on, and I'm hoping it's not the case. So when I do podcasting, especially with, here's the issue with it and the drawback to the R5s when you're doing this situation. Great quality, great, awesome camera. I have decent lenses, you know, but the issue is that it drains the battery like fast. So it's a constant drain, and it's like you're constantly having to switch out batteries. And A, that's no good for live situations. And B, while people are in the middle of their podcast, I'd have to cut, you know, we have to stop it. Imagine being in like a real heated moment or a great moment that you're trying to capture, and the camera just wants to take a dump on you, and you have to switch out the batteries every time. So what I ended up doing was using something called like a DC coupler. And basically what it does is it's a dummy battery. I actually have one set up on this camera. You can see this angle right here. And what it's doing is basically giving constant power to the battery. Now, there are new settings, I believe, since the firmware update. I'm not sure if it was before that or not, but there are a few tricks that you can do to make the Canon R5s and the R6s work consistently, like with no downtime in recording. So because of the fact that I'm using a ATEM Mini, or any type of feed that's going into like a video mixer, I'm able to keep the cameras on like in preview mode and still capture that same quality, but not be able to record like directly to the SD cards. And I'm okay with that because I'm looking for a live preview, you know, the live raw preview. So I'm not concerned. I need the feed. I'm not concerned about saving it to a memory card. I am concerned about getting it into OBS or vMix or whatever the case is, you know, whatever the scenario is, but I'm having a constant live feed that I can pick off of. And the issue, I think, long story short, is that those couplers, they were Newers, those couplers were creating a slow burn on these cameras, and I must have left it on, and possibly the heat caused an issue with this PCB board. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna gut it right now, find out what's going on, and see if this works. All right, guys, I'm back here, and I am going to get into this and go from there. All right, so here we are, and basically what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be going into my camera here, and I'm going to try to dissect this as quickly as possible because I am on a time frame here. So let's see what we can do. Side cover. So the first thing I'm actually going to do when I'm doing this here is I'm going to take the lens off, put it on the side here, and I am going to, so from what I see here, it's, let's break out the screws and get this going. Always try to use like one of those metal bowls or something so you never lose any of these screws. Yeah, so to kind of save time here, I'm going to give you a little bit of a backstory. I don't know if I'm going to be using the first cut I did or not. Anyways, yeah, so this thing took a crapola on me and caused some serious delays with shooting, with a couple of scheduled podcasts, and then I just, you know, I've always needed a fourth cam as a backup. So one of the oh boy, oh there we go. Okay, so they're falling and they're going there. So yeah, one of the issues that I was having was I believe it was the heat, and yeah, sorry I get all stupid when I start fixing stuff. Smart and stupid at the same time. Yeah. All right, anyways, so yeah, basically what happened was this thing took a crap on me in between shoots, and I believe what's happened here is I probably fried the PCB board, and I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm willing to take the risk to save this and not have to pay money because this is not under warranty. If you do have a camera that's under warranty, I advise you guys, and especially if you guys are not good with like fixing components, or this is like a first time thing for you, do not do it with an R5. Do not do it with an R5, guys. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try it on a 70D Mark -5. Go for it. Or, you know, 1980 in Minolta. But considering the price of these, always call or talk to a professional, unless you're super handy and you fix nerdy things like this, like video games and cell phones and stuff. Otherwise, don't even try it. Okay, so we have the sides open here. Oh, I'm not even showing you. Alright. Missing one of the screws. Anything else? We got all the screws here. All the screws there. Bottom. So now we got to take down the bottom. Okay. All right. Just, I know it looked odd what I was doing there, but it's just so much easier. Oh no, I touched the darn. Jeez Louise. See, that's why you call a professional. I touched the shutter sensor. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright, so let's see. So we got screws in the, I don't know if this is part of the deal, but we're gonna find out. Yeah. Alright. Yeah. Oh, okay, so it is. It is. It seems like it's part of the deal here. Right? Ding. Let's see here. So silver ones will go in. Yeah, so while I'm doing this, maybe I'll talk about something. So anything happen? So it is looser. Okay, And then this as well. Okay. There's your viewfinder here. So what happens here? Don't tell me I have to rip off. Okay, so I'm under the release button. Where, buddy? Okay, how do you take out the shutter? Aha. So there's definitely glue. Okay. So now we know. Okay. No, these are for the side. Wow. Okay. So this is starting to seem a little bit more complicated than I thought. Gosh darn, Canon. We are literally breaking down. Oh, God, this is so cool. I can't believe I'm doing this. God, this is straight up surgery right here. Oh, man. Oh, boy. All right. Can you guys hear the stress level in my freaking voice? Okay. I'm sorry, B. We're going to fix it. So, wow, look at that. This is crazy. So, I just start dissect it. I guess you have to pull this skin off to get under for the screws, and that was the most excruciating thing I've ever done in my life when it comes to a camera. But I am confident enough that I know we'll be okay. So I'm gonna break it apart a little bit more and keep going here and see what happens. All right. So usually I'd be a lot more talkative in this scenario. It's just I am very scared to break anything. I'm hyper focused here. Okay. So what is next? So what is next for you, buddy? What else do we need to do? So he said. So I had a friend of mine. I call him a friend now because he really helped me out. The person that I ended up getting this board from basically had explained gave me a little bit of a breakdown of how to actually break down the camera. And from what he's saying here, there's a screw just under the shutter release button on the front cover. You need to remove it. But first he says, so let me give you a little bit of a context. The person that I actually bought the PCB board from, I've been, basically scoping around and trying to talk to somebody that knows how to get into these cameras. And it's actually surprisingly very hard. It's like a little secret society of guys, it's kind of hard unless, I'm not looking in the right places. Maybe you guys know of a website that I went to iFixit and it doesn't, there's a couple of different websites I've tried. I never seen anything about the Canon R5. So it seems like this guy has a ton of knowledge in that regard because he does sell the parts, and it seems like a lot of the parts are used, so he obviously breaks things down. I'm sure he would have finished this in 5 minutes for me, but me doing this the first time, I'm super nervous about it. I don't want to break anything, So anyways, here's what he tells me. I asked if there's some type of diagram or something that could help me out in breaking this down. He's like, you should remove the side cover first, then remove the back cover and then the top cover. You should remove the viewfinder first on the top cover, then you will see 2 screws under the finder holding top cover. Also, there's a screw just under the shutter release button, which we just did. Basically right, let's go back to right under here. It's tucked right there. Also, there's a screw just under the shutter release button on the front cover. You need to remove it. So I did all that. Now I'm trying to see if anything's wiggling. I don't see anything wiggling, guys. I'm starting to get nervous here. So what would be the next step? So he said the side first, right? So if we break down the side, that's what we did. So I don't know if it's, at least we got it on camera to backtrace, right? All right. I don't see anything else. Show me how to break this open. Okay. Now we're breaking the backs. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, yes. There it is. Okay, so we know that this part, we know that we need to get these out. Okay. Oh boy, here we go. Okay. So did I miss anything over here? Oh, I might have missed something over here. So since we're in this mood of skinning the freaking camera, I might as well try, right? Alright. Oh yes. Found you. Found you. So there is a couple of screws over here. This video, there's a few screws here you could see on this side to break it down. On the opposite side, the trick here is to get their screws under the skin, basically. Okay, so now let's see. Oh man, wow. Okay, all right, so nice. All right, so we've broken down the back. Right now, we're gonna have to see where this little piece, I think this is it right here, right? That might be it. So, let's see what the heck we got here. All right, so yes, so this is this, okay? And I've noticed here so far, we got a connector here, we got a connector here, we have screws right here, we have a screw right here, and a screw right here. So I'm going to carefully remove these. Let's see how this comes out. Okay, so that just, I don't know. I think, yeah, we have to pop this off. Nice and easy. There we go. Pop that off. And now we're gonna pop. Is this? Okay, so always look at your stuff. Like you can. So when you're breaking these down, you can actually look and see the connectors and make sure, like before you start breaking things down, especially the first time, like look at how it was connected. Like reverse engineer from the part that you received, whatever it is that you're, switching out parts with. But this is pretty cool. Listen, a lot of people, they don't recommend this. So please, this is just me being stupid right now and desperate, right? I have a time frame and, limited in funds. So I don't want you guys to do this unless you absolutely know what the heck you're doing. You have to have some experience because, and actually, I'll mention this after, but you have to have some experience breaking down either cell phones or building computers at the very minimum. And cameras are very, very different. It is not easy. It's easy, but it's tedious and it's very delicate. And I've already learned my lesson on switching a screen before. So any little twist, tug, pull, I mean, you could really do some damage, and then you really fry it instead of just having given it to a professional. All right, so now if you can see here, I'm gonna bring this, zoom this in. This sucks, right? So I'm gonna zoom this in, and so you guys can get a better idea of what's going on here. So I broke this down. I removed the screws over here, and I am actually removing this PCB board. All right, and we are going to be replacing it. I mean, I don't see any issues. That's what's starting to scare me right now. And you don't know. I mean, I something could have broke, something could have been off. I don't know. But I don't want to go into this whole thing yet. So, anyways, old board in with the new. Now we're going to go ahead and connect this new board. All right, now this new board is in. I know I should know better, and at least maybe what I'll do is I'll put this together and then put the components back together without the screws for a split second, and then run it and see what happens. That's what I'll do. All right, so we're putting that back. Now we have to make sure to be very delicate with this first connection. That's in, and then you basically like pop this one on. That's what it seemed like. So there we go. So we got it clipped back on. Did I miss any connectors here? Did I miss something? Are you talking to me? All right. I think that was it. We had those two. All right. Let's slowly put this back. Same thing here. Don't screw up. This one's a little bit of a Bia. Okay. Definitive feeling. So before I do anything ridiculous, somebody out there, some camera repair dude right now is laughing his ass off. All right, let's see. We can line it up this way. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. No, I'm not kidding you. I'm with you the last time. Last time I did a connector like this, I broke it. So I don't want to break it. I'm gonna pause. All right, what is up, everybody? It is like, what time is it? It's 11 o'clock at night, and I just actually put this thing back together. It was definitely this PCB board. So the next time you guys, if you run into this problem where you're in a scenario where, and almost more specifically, I would say, you're in a scenario where you're using this for live streams, or where you have a coupler, constant power running into the battery cartridge of the actual body of the Canon R5, then I would, instead of trying to fix the main board, I would fix this little power DC PCB board. I'm actually really surprised that it was that. I mean, I'm not too surprised. So I mean, I'm glad this is all it was. It's like, what do you want, you know? Anyways, so yeah, if you have the same issue where you were running constant power and nothing is on and it's completely dead, I would try this first. It's, you know, could be potentially $100 fix. I would not recommend this. Like I said, please speak to a professional, or make sure that you have the experience as a professional yourself. But yeah, so everything is working now. Let's check it out. You can see it here. Closer up. So now the camera actually, you can see right there in the LCD, there's video and it powers up. The back, it says please, at least it says please charge battery, but the back is working. Everything's working on the camera now. So that's exactly what it was. So that's cool. I knocked that out. Now I actually have to knock out this computer. I've been setting this aside, and it's going to be a while before I can actually sit down and do a few things as far as like streaming or even some podcast work. So let's get on to that now. All right, guys, I'm back. So basically what I did was I just wanted to focus real quick on connecting the back piece here with the viewfinder and everything, and I was not taking any risks. I had an issue before with a viewfinder that I replaced, and it was kind of similar on a smaller scale, but I had a really big issue with that. So I want to make sure that I was doing everything right. What I've done here is I made sure that the camera is at least secure, but without the screws, but that it's secure. And I'm going to try to run it. But before I do that, I touched the darn sensor, guys. And I'm cleaning it with a dedicated like lens wipe. Don't do this stuff at home. Make sure you use a very, very clean, like silky microfiber cloth that doesn't cause scratches, because you will. Let's get these sides here, these edges. Yeah, basically I just went in there. All right, I'm going to connect this back up, and we're gonna see what happens here. Don't have the screws on. I'm sure I'm gonna have to tack on the battery door. Let's get that back on here. And for the battery door, by the way, guys, if you don't know, the side that bends in is not the first side that goes back in. So there's a little tab here that you can press, release if you haven't done it before. Okay, guys. Oh my God. Oh, it works. It works. Yes. I can't believe it. It worked. So I got to thank my man from eBay. You are the shit, dude. I had to replace this PCB board, okay? Look, shit. 80 years ago, 100 years ago, cars used to come with a full-on like manual of how to break the car down to the very last screw. You know, and unfortunately, nowadays we have things on, you know, don't stick your finger in the plug, you know, in the socket, or, you know, whatever. People are just like really like dumb sometimes. Not everybody, not you guys, because you're here and you're listening to me, okay? But no, really, I mean, we know less and less about the items that we own. Cars, you know, electronics, cameras, fridges, anything you could think of, essentially, that's you know, larger in price. And anyways, I'm not gonna rant about that crap today. We'll talk about it one day. But yeah, basically what I did was I found out this PCB board now for sure was wrecked. And what was happening was it was probably getting slowly cooked. It could have just gave out. I don't know. But I am so glad that I was able to fix this right now. You guys don't know how happy I am, because I just saved myself a lot of money. I don't know what something like this would cost. And I don't know what somebody else would tell me or lie to me about. So this is technically the second time I've actually broken down a camera and of value. I've messed around with other cameras and broken down like really old cameras and stuff like that. But with something like this, you guys really should not take the risk. And I'm saying that with a grin on my face, but you really shouldn't take the risk if you don't know what you're doing. If you are tech savvy and you do know what you're doing, I hope that this kind of helped out. So I might kind of do a little small review of what I did. I basically tore off. Let's go through this real quick. So I basically took out every single screw. There's screws everywhere here. You have screws at the bottom of the Canon. You have screws on the side that are under the skin, guys. You see that? Now, you also have to remember that The other pieces of skin also had screws under them as well. There was another screw here that was right under the shutter release. It's like right over here. You can't really, I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. And there's another one right here. So once that is taken off, you come back up here, you take these top screws off, you come into the, you come to the back and you look at the viewfinder and you'll find that there were 2 screws there. We took those out, and then you found another 2 screws. So we took those out. And there's actually screws inside of these input ports. You're gonna wanna take those ones out. Also, the other skin that I was talking about is right here on the back, right next to the to the right of the joystick right here is 2 screws as well. What else was there? That was it. You do not have to break down this gasket. Don't touch it. I wouldn't. You know, that's what I was scared of. I want to make sure. I would rather rip the skin off than touch that gasket. So that's it. There's nothing inside of here. I can't believe it's working. I'm so happy. That's about it right now. Again, thank you guys. I appreciate your time. And please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you guys soon.